Okay, we're live. Okay. Hi everyone. This is the last webinar of the AICVS 1.0 series, and our speaker for today is Meghana Bhange. Meghana Bhange was the former head coordinator and founder of AICVS Cummins. She is a 2020 ENTC graduate from Cummins. She's worked on various projects, internships focused on machine learning and NLP from the beginning of her second year. Meghna interned at verloop.io in the third year, where she kickstarted her NLP journey. She loves to work with state-of-the-art NLP ideas and push them to production. Meghna is now working at Verloop, and she couldn't have asked for a better environment to work at. Her life is about equal parts of work and play. This will be a hands-on session from text cleaning to transfer learning. I hope you have fun. Okay, handing it over to you, Meghna.
Hi. So just give me a minute. I'm trying to, my thing stopped working.
Okay. Okay, hi guys, we'll just be back in 2 minutes. Some technical issues. Okay, so tell me in the comments, would you all be excited about a webinar 2.0 series? Now, that might not be streamed on YouTube, but it'll kind of be like private sessions on Google Meet or Zoom from industry people working at Zomato, Swiggy, etc. Would you all be interested in that? Probably just put up a comment and let me know. Yay, okay, great. Okay, then one more question. Would you all like it to be in continuation? Oh wow, so many yeses. Would you all like it to be in continuation, as in from next week onwards or last week of July? How do you all want it? considering the placements and the internship drives, everything. Oh wow, so many yes. I'm glad. Yo guys, give me a date till the time of fixing these technical issues. Probably let me know. Would you all want it in continuation, like how we had these 6 webinars, or do you all want it after a while, or after placement season? But that's gonna be too late, so I think we should have it now. Right. What's the exact date of after a while? Hi.
Hey, it's finally working.
Yes.
Hi. So, how are the questions going?
Oh, everyone actually wants a webinar 2.0. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
really glad because we got a lot of yeses. And I think after a while, so probably like last week of July, let's keep them.
Oh, nice. So, we have a lot of things coming up for you guys. So, you should be really excited. So, let me start with hi, who am I? So, I'm currently doing NLP at verloop, and I previously gave talks on how to do a custom name extractor at PyData or Arctic Monkey's lyrics generator. So the links of that will be there here, or we'll send it by email and you can watch them. And this is like a smaller version of that on how you can collect lyrics or then clean them, then make your own data set and just get everything ready so that you're not intimidated by transfer learning just because you're scared of data cleaning. So you can also email me and message me, and all the links are here. So, what are we going to do today? One is that we're going to scrape lyrics. So, recently I've been really into Hamilton and I cannot stop listening to their songs. So, like, I cannot stop listening to them, I cannot stop singing to them. So, yes, we're going to go scrape some lyrics, try to understand more from them, create more Hamilton lyrics. Let's see how that goes. So this way, all the technical topics that we'll be covering is like data augmentation, which is creating more data from the small limited data that you have. So sometimes, or most of the times, you'll come across this problem that you want to train this really fancy model. But the problem is you're not going to have enough data. So the easy workaround, instead of actually going to some data annotators and getting like a huge number of data labeled, hand labeled by them, we use something like data augmentation. Then we're going to go into text cleaning, like just a little bit of Lambda functions and a little bit of regex. And we're going to explore something about NLP, like we're going to understand what it actually is. So, NLP, what does it mean? So, NLP is an abbreviation for natural language processing. And in a broader term, it will be something like dealing with text data. But you must have come across all of these areas where NLP is used. So something like machine translation, where you have Google Translate, which translates one kind of text into other one. Question answering. So you give a question to some chatbot and it answers with like, hey, is this what you meant? Language modeling, that will be something like you take a language, you create next word predictor, something like that, and all these other fields. So before we do anything else, we need to get text data. And the problem with that could be that it's just really hard, or like it's initially there's a lot of inertia trying to go and deal with text initially. So we are gonna use an API. So what Lyrics Genius does, you must have come across Lyrics Genius, right? So where you go to their site and they have like lyrics of that, you have annotated words, you have people theorizing about what the lyric means and all of that. But they also have an amazing API and a Python package which just lets you query the lyrics based on artist name or based on the albums. So before anything else, I have linked the sites where you can go and get your API clients, and you will have to use something called client secret. So this is something that we will be using to get lyrics. And this notebook also will be shared with you. So you just have to go create your own clients, and you can just plug your API key in there. So these are the two things you'll require. One is an API key. As from the previous slide, we can see that an API key is a client secret. So there'll be two keys, so don't mess it up. I did mess it up a lot previously. Second, we're going to choose the artist. And as you can see from the results here, they are all the Hamilton songs. And next is we save the lyrics. So what happens in this step is that we take all the lyrics from the previous step where we just collected and we took all the lyrics that were there on Lyrics Genius for that artist, and we are storing it in a JSON file. Now JSON in Python, when you import it, it's just going to be a glorified version of a dictionary. So what we're going to do, we're going to query it like a dictionary. So first, like most of the text files in Python, we open it like this. So JSON loads is the function which loads the JSON file. And let's just say, and it's stuck. So yeah, I was going to try. So I run the cell which imports our JSON. Then we want to see what it actually imported. So it is a dictionary. So you can see that if we do data.keys, we can see all the dictionaries and all the keys that this dictionary has. And what we are concerned with is songs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do data.songs, and I'm going to print the length of it. So it's 55 songs. We actually want to see what's there in one of these songs. So I'm going to query the 0th song. And here you can see what you will have in this segment of the dictionary. So it's a dictionary in a dictionary. And what we are concerned with is lyrics. I'm just waiting to see them. So something like this. If you want to see for this particular song, what is the full title of this? You can see it here. And moving on, next thing that we will require for our data cleaning is pandas. And here are the two things that we are concerned with, or at least in this one that we want to deal with. So one is going to be title of the song here, and we're storing it as one column. The other one is going to be lyrics here. But as you can see, these lyrics are slightly messy. Like, I don't want \n inside my lyrics. I want it to be clean and nice so that when I create more lyrics, they don't have random \n's and everything. So what I will do is, one, I'll drop NA. So what drop any does is it drops all the files which have nothing in them, which have null or NaN things in them. We don't want that because they create a lot of problems, because we're assuming that everything in this column is a string. Second, we're going to look at lambda functions. So what this one is doing here is it's taking in every line. So what we're doing is go to the lyrics, go to this column, and then apply this function to it. What this function is saying is go and take each and every sentence that you get and make it lower. So an example of that will be, if I'm going to write, so let's see what this does. Oh, it didn't load df. Okay, this seems to be hung right now.
Oh, till then, I have a question. Isha wanted to know, is Mao gonna make a special entrance?
Mao is sleeping, and I'm trying to get her, but she's denying to stay in this room for some reason.
Isha literally texted me right now.
Right. Okay, so here's what it looks like, the df. But let me show you what this function is actually doing. So if I do df dot, what it does when you do df.lyrics is it's creating this whole column. It's a list. It's returning list of all the lyrics that we have. Then what you want to do is you want to do this one small thing that, hey, I want to make every sentence into a lower form, and let's just for fun make it titled. And we will take a sentence, and what I want to do is I want to return the sentence dot title case. So whenever you use an apply thing to a data frame or a data frame column, what it's doing essentially is it's applying the function to this column. And now you can see how every sentence is title case. And what we want is we want to again save it as the lyrics column. So that's why there's an is equal to here. And what I'm here basically doing is I'm just nesting all of these together. So instead of just replace, you can use something like regex if you want to have like complicated patterns which remove entirety of this bracket. Like you just don't want to know who sang this. So you can just go do a regex pattern match and remove all of that. So the next part is text augmentation. So as we discussed before, that we want to create more lyrics out of it. For example, you want to create, like I said, a Hamilton lyric generator. And in this case, you can't just have like just 20 odd songs and then be like, I want to make more lyrics and I want to make a very intelligent model out of this. So what you want to do is you want to increase this data. And how are we going to do it? Is we're going to use this neat little library that's called NLProc. And it's one of my favorite because I keep using this all the time. And it's just fun to see what it comes up with. So the first sentence I'm trying out is, I graduated without giving an exam. So I wrote this before the whole announcement came yesterday. I may or may not graduate without giving exams. That seems more appropriate. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, you go and check every word and find a synonym of it. Like, let's just see what it does. Oh, I didn't import it. And so this is the notebook that will be shared with most of you, with everyone actually.
I'm back. I'm back every time you're frozen. You don't have any doubts yet. Great, that's nice.
Okay, so this is back again. And we want to see what this synonym augmenter does. So I may or may not graduate without giving exams. I may or may not grad without throwing exams. Single may operating theater may not graduate without giving exams. So it's not exactly accurate, but what it does is it takes any word from your original sentence and then it's trying to replace it to the nearest synonym, and it tries to find the synonym using a word net. So the next part is, why not just do random word swap? So it's just swapping the words in sentence here. It's like it finds a sentence, a word in the sentence, and it swaps it for another word. And lastly, the action that we want to see is substitute. So it takes a sentence from the it takes a word from the original sentence and tries to substitute it. But what we want to do is we want to have all of these actions be sequential. We don't want them to be like, you don't want to decide whether a thing should be just swapped or substituted. You want to give a sequential order, for example, like this one, where first take the sentence, take any word, then swap it randomly, then go to the synonym augmenter, swap it with WordNet, and then do random word augmentation. So you can test it here. So most of the code will be given to you. You can try it and try with your sentences. And what I did here is I wrote a small thing where we're just splitting it after every 10 words. And then we're trying to augment it using a previous thing. And this will go through our entire queried list that we had before. And it tries to create our whole thing, like our augmented text file. So here it will create an augmented text file. And lastly, transfer learning. So what happened after this stage was that I used to generally take all of the lyrics that I created, and then we're going to go and give it to some language model to create something like a to learn the characteristics of this language, and then later generate the next word predictor. And why transfer learning? So in this specific case, one thing is that we will always have like very little data. And when we have very little data compared to like millions of lines of data, the problem is that we can't train really good models from the scratch. What we want to do is we want to take a model which has been trained on, like, let's say, Wikipedia, which is a lot of data, and then get the learnings from that and use them as your starting weight to be trained for your tiny task. And yeah, so I would advise everyone to go and explore this field, to go and take your clean and augmented data. And yeah, that's it from me today. Any questions?
Great, great. Um, do you have images of the last live that you had done where we had predicted some lyrics?
I think I do. 1 minute.
We could probably show them. They were nice.
Yeah. Um, so these were the ones that I created last time. Like, is it visible?
No, wait. Should I remove you from the stream and then probably you can just
Wait,
share
I
screen
can
again?
try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one. So these are the 3 ones that I have right now. I think I like the last one, which says fiction as sense of humor.
Oh, wait. What was this model trained on?
So this was trained on Arctic Monkeys lyrics, and we trained a GPT-2 model.
Right. This is nice. I will also link the YouTube video of that meetup below in the email that we sent.
Okay, so Kritika asked, like, can we have some basic NLP projects? So I think I would start off with, like, you should just Google it away, and because the whole field is changing too rapidly. But some of the classics are, you can train a classifier, which will give you a better understanding of how to take sentences and understand, like, to classify them. Like, you can classify them in toxic and non-toxic ones, or you can try something like sentiment analysis on Twitter data. So that's a very fun project. And you can, if you want to take it up a notch, you can try to scrape your own Twitter data. Like, you can make calls to the Twitter API that they allow and create a whole model which will take all the Twitter data, then get the sentiments of them, and then you can use that to classify it.
Okay, great. Let's wait for 2, 3 more minutes, I'm sure.
Yep.
Can sarcasm be detected by NLP? That's the next question.
Oh, okay. Yes, it can. So the thing is, you need to have, like, there are models which are currently doing sarcasm detection. So I can link them actually to in the mail that we'll be sending.
Okay, great. Then there's another question. What technologies/models should we know to start off with NLP?
So there is no prerequisite as such, because again, as I said, they keep changing. But what you can do is you can go and look into some of the courses which are teaching, like, try to look at 2020 versions of those courses. So one of them will be that I like a lot is CS231N. Okay, wrong. I will send the link of that course too. I forgot the code for it.
Yeah, I think it's CS
224N,
231.
I think.
Okay, one sec.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
224N.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got another question. What is better, corporate internships or NLP machine learning internships with startups?
So I think that depends on what your output from the internship is. So I will tell you the benefits of both of them. Is that, one, corporate internships have a standard procedure, they will have standard tasks. So if you are looking for the safety, if you're looking for having, like, a very a decent experience with internships, that'll be a good idea. When it comes to internships with startups, I think one thing is that you will have a lot of exposure. You will have to build everything from ground up, and that will give you a lot of access to understanding everything. But again, it is from what you want to do, like whichever place you will be comfortable at.
Great, right. Another question. Can a machine understand homonyms and jokes based on them? I don't know what's them.
What is homonyms?
Homophones, homonyms. I actually am confused. It's
I was really bad at English, guys.
rubbish.
Okay.
Homonyms are each of two or more words having the same spelling or pronunciation but different meanings.
So
Example, dog bark and tree bark.
okay. So I think mostly like most of the models which take context into consideration will be able to understand the difference of bark in like different contexts. So how that happens is generally like it will instead of just looking at it word by word and understanding what the word means, we supply information to model about the position of this word in the sentence, and based on that it can learn the different meanings of it. So yeah, it's pretty much possible.
Great. Okay, another question by Sai. Please tell us about how you landed in verloop and what all did you do?
So with verloop, I think I applied to their program, and like a friend of mine knew about they were open for internships, and I applied, and there were then 4 rounds of interviews. What I did there were we tried 2 projects. One was custom name extraction from chats. So like whenever you're dealing with chats, people don't type in the most structured way. They'll have a lot of typos and everything. And we also want to get context in the like what is the name. So it is very easy to identify like let's say anglicized names, but it'll be difficult to identify Arabic names or Spanish names given like you're typing in English. So based on that, what my work was to create this custom name extractor. And other thing that we tried was trying different classifiers for low resource languages. Like most of the times, a lot of work has been done on English, but not the same amount of work has been done on other languages. So instead of having a very heavy model, which will be like something like BERT, which will take a lot of time training, we were exploring which other models will be good for training classifiers, which don't require that much of data.
Wow, okay, that's great. Okay, another question. I want to enter in ML slash NLP field, don't want to do SDE. So is it necessary to do masters, MS or MTech for the same?
I didn't do masters. So yeah, you can get into most of the places. We'll try to have internships. So you can look at internships. That is a very nice way to get into NLP or ML, because that is where you can show that you have the capacity to learn. Why I think masters would be beneficial is if you're looking at places like Amazon or bigger research labs, they will want you to have much like a larger exposure to research. So there will be like slight bit of difference whether you're doing ML engineering or you're doing ML research. And in research, mostly they'll prefer masters, but you can definitely try for ML engineering roles as an like undergrad.
Great. Okay. Then, okay, my question, what do you prefer, masters or PhD, and what, why, when, everything?
What?
Sorry. I meant, what do you prefer? Do you prefer that someone take up masters right after they undergraduate, or do you prefer that someone goes directly for a PhD after a few years of working?
Oh, okay. So I think with that, again, it's a personal choice. So it depends on what where you feel comfortable. If you believe that you want to go for masters after working or after getting an experience, that's a good thing. If you want to do direct masters, it's also a good thing. And if you want to do a direct PhD, again, it's a good thing. Basically, like, we don't want to criticize any of these options, but yeah, it's up to you. Like, you have to make the decision based on wherever you're comfortable. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to do anything.
Right. Okay. Kritika's question: which Python library is useful for scraping old tweets for sentiment analysis? Like Twitter API allows you to access only a week old tweets.
Um, so I think there's a way that you can access like previous tweets in Twitter API. So like you have to change the dates, and there is also another library which is I forget the entire name of it. It's something like get old tweets. So I think I can add that also to our thing, but
Yeah.
it's called, I think, Get Old Tweets 3, which allows you to scrape like a huge amount of tweets based on this. So I can't post in comments, can I?
You can, but I got it. I'll post it.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. The next question. One sec. When did you start learning machine learning or NLP, considering being an ENTC or in
So
ENTC?
I started somewhere around end of second year. So that was where I was just doing courses and everything. And then I started doing small projects. So at that time we had Fashion Amnesty, which just had recently come out. And I wanted to try it out. So I was really into like CNNs, and I tried a small CNN model. And that is where I really fell in love with the whole thing. Later on, I did a lot of internship with startups. So just to get more exposure, like one of them was during college. So I used to go to the place after my college, used to get over at somewhere around 5 to 6. And then I think the most learning that I did was during my internship time at Verloop. Like before that, I would say I knew like something of 10% of what I know right now. And like the whole 90% of it was learned during the internship.
Wow. Okay. Great. Next question. I want to enter in. Okay, fine. This is done. Sorry. How can we build vernacular language chatbots?
Okay. So one thing that I would say is that there are, if you want to build chatbots, there are frameworks like Rasa, which exist. And to customize things for, like, if you want to go and build models for vernacular languages, you can try like collecting a lot of data for these languages and then try training your own model from scratch. For example, you can try something like uh, ULM-FIT, which allows you to train models on smaller data. Or you can even just fine tune a smaller BERT like DistilBERT. So basically, like most of the times when you don't know how to deal with like a different language, the best recommendation is go get a lot of data for it, train your language model, then train your classifier for it, or train whatever purpose that you want to do afterwards.
Great. Okay. We have one more question. Are online courses beneficial for learning machine learning? And if so, can you please suggest some for machine learning and NLP?
I think one of the courses that I really like is Fast AI's courses. Like they go have like this whole top-down approach where they teach you code first, and it helps you gain a lot of confidence. It is like a very swift learning experience. Other than that, as I suggested, Stanford's 2 to 4N is a really good course. Like it's really intense, but you really love it like throughout. And I can also post like a link to the repo of most like the ones that I have of all the courses that I feel are important.
Okay, great. We have come on track with all of the questions till now.
Okay, that was nice. Those were like good questions.
She's typing. Just emphasize. Thanks a lot, Meghna. That's a comment. I'm just going to pin it, yes. Okay, the question is, with internships approaching, what should we focus more on, competitive coding or machine learning NLP courses and projects, if what we're focusing on is to learn for the future?
Okay. There will be like two branches where both of these will be helpful. So competitive coding or just coding for placement prep, something like lead code and all of that will be really helpful if you're looking for a standardized process. Like most of the companies that come to a college will require you to know uh, like most of DSA. They'll require you to be able to be quick thinking and have like a be able to solve their questions that they gave during their first round. So that will be always a good part to know all of that. And on this side, if you want to apply externally, like to startups or places that for machine learning roles, you would also like to have like a nice project portfolio where you can show that, hey guys, I know something. You can it's safe to trust me that I will actually work during my internships. So again, I think it depends on which path you want to go, but I would say it's always good to know competitive coding. It's always good to be able to think quickly, and if you do have time, you should really do a lot of projects and be able to have something to show for it. So that is like one thing that I keep telling everyone, that no matter what you do, like it doesn't matter like if it's just ML related or other projects, like in the end have something to show for it. Like have a GitHub repo, write a blog on it, just have like things to tell people that this is what I learned.
Right, right. Okay. Um, yeah, we're all caught up right now. So Sai is still typing, so I'm waiting for another question. Okay, one more question. Is competitive coding really required for machine learning NLP domains? Like, if I want to do a master's, should I go for college STE roles or try my own in startup companies for machine learning?
um, so if you want to go for masters, if you are like, so a big name on your resume will always be good because it will be something which will add credibility to your resume, but it's not compulsory. If you want to gain more experience, if you want to go to startups, some startups may require competitive coding. They will have rounds. Other startups may not. They will ask something like API questions. So if the question is competitive coding required, I would say it's always safe to know it. It's always safe to be able to, like, as I said, the more motivation should be to think faster, to be able to solve or come up with solution to any problem statement. It will always be a helpful skill for you to like deal with most of the coding questions or problems. Second, is it important for ML? I don't think it directly affects it, but it does make a lot of difference. So one of the problems that I was dealing with had that we used to get repetitive names. Like there'll be names for my custom name extractor. There'll be names like something like Aditya, which will keep on coming. And you don't want to go and give the whole thing to a model. You want to create a structure that if there are like at least if the name that is requested is from top 100 names, just give the reply instantly. Like don't go through the model. And in this case, what we ended up doing is we had to think of like what data structures to use here. So it won't be of use directly, but it will come to use in one way or the other. It will also be helpful for you to think like whenever you're programming something, to see if your current approach is the best, because you will be trained to think like what is the big of, and is this the most efficient method of which is this the most efficient way to implement this. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Right, yeah, it does. Great. Okay, one last thing. Would you like to talk about Autograph X right now?
Oh yeah, so we are also doing this thing for final year students, which is that we will have an autograph X thing. Like it's gonna be uh, how do I put it, handcrafted yearbooks.
Yeah.
So basically, like you and all your friends will have folders, and your friends will write autographs for you in your folder. And in the end, everyone will get their own compiled version of like your photo, your yearbook quote, and all the autographs that were written by your friends to you. So a lot of work has been like done by Radhika and Ishika on that, and they're currently working on getting it into a nice, sweet little UI. So if you want, you can also come and help us. Radhika, would you like to explain them like more of the technical side, like what are we using about Flask and everything?
Okay, great. So we have the data from Google Forms and from the Google Drive. We've taken the data, we've put it into a list that contains dictionaries for each person's name. That's where your name, your images, and your autographs are. Now we have connected this to the front end via Flask, and we have a basic page ready where we're displaying the grid of the yearbook, and under that you have images, and under the images you have a name of the person, and when the image flips you have their quote, and if you click their name you go to a page, and all the autographs that others have given to that particular person are displayed on that page. So we're currently working on the second page now, how to transfer the autographs from our backend to front end. The rest is done. We want to make it look more prettier. So if you really like front end, you should really just join us. I'll put the GitHub link here, and you could just poke the repo, create issues around it, and start working on it. You can just message Meghna or me or Ishika and start working on it. Once, yeah. Here's the link to the GitHub. Yeah, that's it. We're all caught up.
Oh, nice.
But Instagram will be sad if you don't show mouth.
I will try to get out 1 minute. So we have Mao.
Oh,
Let me try if the cam works again.
oh, Mao is
I
here.
just woke her up from sleep and she's gonna be very pissed.
Oh, she is so cute. I think in around a minute there will be comments about how cute Mao is.
So she's just gonna sit here for a while.
This 20-second delay, it takes time for my friends to message me back saying, "Oh, who is this?" Yeah, Isha, you're not scared. You're not supposed to be scared. They're cute.
This can be entire like the whole thing. I could just be like, hey guys, this is my talk. I'm sharing the slides with you. For the rest of 1 hour, you just see Mao.
I think most of my friends would really be interested in that. I think they would be completely okay with a live stream of just Mao. Oh my god, there are Mao comments now. Mao, Mao. Oh my god. Isha, how are you scared of cats?
Yeah, here we have Mao.
Does Mao bite? Badly?
Yes, she does. She doesn't bite badly. She just bites because she wants to. I think she's posing for the camera right now.
What do you mean by different species, Isha? I think this is the content everyone's
Been waiting for. Yeah, like your talk is fine. We want to see Mao.
Totally. When I took over AICVS Instagram yesterday, everyone was, so happy after that when I put up Mao's image today morning. I think that's the main reason why some of the people are here.
So yeah, that's why she comes in the end like a showstopper.
Yep. What do you mean by not a human, Isha? So does that mean that you really like all humans? Should I start naming a few and can you tell me if you like them or not? Oh man.
You don't want to be in front of camera?
Okay, Isha, I think I've annoyed you a lot today. I'm on a streak of getting
Blocked.
yes. Don't want to get blocked again. Oh god, she is cute. I just want a pet. So I think we should end this live now.
Yeah.
Since we don't have any other questions except Mao. And
I think Mao is too sleepy even right now. She's just gonna be like, I'm gonna come at the computer.
her birthday is really close to mine. I'm very happy about that. Okay, then I will end this live. Okay?